Hello, and welcome to another edition of Thursday Thoughts. My name is Megan Mitchell, and I'm here today representing Livable City, that awesome organization that brings you citywide open streets events such as Sunday Streets and Play Streets. Before I get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Sonic. And for those of you joining us, feel free to enter your questions in the comments. Joining me today is Ernest E.J. Jones. Ernest is a board member at the City Eats, and the City Eats is a nonprofit organization dedicated to unifying the community through the purpose of eradicating hunger amongst the inner city homeless population. They prepare and distribute balanced meals monthly with love, care, and compassion. Ernest is also a San Francisco native, born in San Francisco's Oceanside, Ingleside district, and has spent a lot of time organizing in his community on everything from racial justice to COVID-19 relief efforts. And fun fact, we actually grew up on the same street. Hey, EJ, how's it going?
Hey, Megan, how's it going?
It's going. Happy Thursday. So happy
Thursday.
to have you today.
I'm so happy to be with you.
All right, so let's talk. Want to get a little bit of information about the City Eats. What's your passion behind the work, and how did that get started?
I definitely want to give a shout out to the whole City Eats crew, Cain, Kat, Uncle Damien, all of our team members. It's something that just really grew organically. We wanted to give back to the community. We understood there was a problem with access to food, and over 5 years ago, we were really looking for a way to do that. So, as a group, we decided to spring into action, and it started off with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then turkey sandwiches, and now, we're giving out full-blown lunches and hot meals during COVID. And a big shout out to Senior CSIG for their partnership during COVID. They've helped us give out a lot of meals, and huge shout out to Cain and Kat, who really keep the boat going. They're the hearts of the organization, really.
That's amazing. And like, as someone who's done a ton of community work in District 11, mainly as a community organizer, what type of changes do you want to see in the community?
Oh, wow. So I really got started in District 11 working with the Southwest Community Corporation at IT Bookman. I sit on their board as the board chair. And, we really were centered around the health and safety of seniors. And as a senior center, as COVID-19 hit, how do you support the folks that are hardest hit and so heavily impacted? So we worked with our community partners and our friends over at Mission Meals and a bunch of other organizations to make sure, first and foremost, seniors had groceries and food. From there, we moved into making sure they had activities. And then from there, we went into making sure that they were healthy by getting into the COVID testing, which I think we're going to talk about a little bit later. But out from that grew partnerships with so many of the other historically Black organizations in District 11, as well as with the supervisor, Asha Safai. And we really just banded together to make sure that D11's own folks were taking care of D11's community. So it's D11 is amazing right now. We're really on the move. And doing a lot of great things in collaboration. There's no egos right now. Everyone is working together to make sure that the community is served. And I'm just happy to be a part of that, especially being a lifelong resident of District 11.
Yeah, for sure. And you've been doing like some real work in regards to, racial equity and just making people aware of what's going on, specifically to the Black and Brown community within District 11. I know recently there was a mural that went up, Invest in Black. It was buffed out, and then you did the work along with Supervisor Safai to make sure that it was, replaced and redone. And I recently worked on you on a forum where we talked to a bunch of people running for office and, brought the Black community together citywide. So that was amazing. But what are some other things you're doing with regards to racial equity in Lakeview? And how can we follow what you're doing?
Wow. So, I, you with everything going on across the country in terms of racial equity and racial justice, our community really wanted to make a huge statement because we felt that Lakeview, and for the other folks that may not know it as Lakeview, the OMI as a historical Black neighborhood is often forgot about. You hear about Fillmore, you hear about Hunters Point, but a lot of times people don't make the connection that there are Black people in Lakeview. And I think according to the stats, we have like the second or third highest number of African American Black families in San Francisco. Um, and what we always thought about was in Lakeview, there's so many Black businesses. We're not a huge community, but we have, Black barbershops, Black hair salons. We've historically had restaurants and that sort of thing. A lot of that is changing. So we really started the Invest Black initiative to remind folks, hey, we're here. We want you to invest in our community centers. We want you to invest in our people. We want you to invest in our businesses. We want you to invest in our seniors. We want you to invest in our health. And in collaboration with Gwen Brown at ICY, Joffrey Morris, um, so many other people, Reynard over at Youth First. There's so many people, Maurice, who have gotten involved and really supported the movement. And Supervisor Safai has also been really supportive of the movement. And we just want to make a statement that we are here, we're residents, we care about our community, we can work alongside you as partners, but we also want to have things that we own for ourselves. And that's the message. We're doing a lot of things as a group and separately and supported by the group just to make sure that we have a voice, a seat at the table. One of those things was the supervisor panel that we did last week. And in that supervisor panel, we allowed all of the candidates from the odd districts to speak on issues that affect Black people. And we allowed the communities to ask questions to those candidates directly so that they can have them on the record for saying what they would do for them. And that's really important to hold our leaders accountable and to make sure that our voices are heard. We have a lot of things coming down the pipeline. We're planning on going back for another candidate forum around the school board and around the other things that folks may vote on, just so folks have an understanding and they understand their power. Uh, you know.
Absolutely. I think one of my fond memories of going to the OMI, after school was meeting Danny Glover for the first time. Another person who you kind of remind me of his spirit is always out there with his hands in various things and just, obviously is an amazing actor, but, real community oriented, never forgets about anybody, always comes back and visits no matter where he's going. So that was, that was a good time for me. So what changes are you noticing within the community around economic development? Like, are there any new businesses opening that you want to shout out?
I can't say that there are any new businesses that are formally opening at this time, but we're making a real push to make sure that vacant storefronts in our district are taken care of, specifically along the Broad Street corridor. And while this extends to District 7, we're concerned about the Ocean Street corridor as well. And because that's kind of where folks, we're a food desert in the
Right.
OMI. There's no grocery store for us. So we have to go over the hill to District 7 to be able to access those resources. So everything that we're doing is really interconnected with our neighbors in the Excelsior and our friends in District 7. And aside from that, we're we're welcoming new businesses. There's a new coffee shop that opened up on the Randolph corridor, and those are the things that we're looking for. We just want access to those really simple pleasures that a lot of people all over the rest of the city have.
Yeah, I understand that. Coming from Bayview, I totally get that.
Right. You
Um,
have a lot of things kind of popping up though. You guys have Cafe Envy. You guys have
mhm.
all the good wine bars at Grata. You guys have things going, and so we're really looking to you to model that because we want a lot of those same things. I don't want to have to always go visit you guys in the Bayview to be able to experience those things.
Yeah, because we are literally on the opposite side of the city, so we want you to have that as well.
Right.
Well, so let's pivot into COVID-19 and talk about what we're doing to support the community in District 11.
I want to definitely talk about what we're doing to support the folks in District 11. I want to give a huge shout out to Felicia Thibodeau at the Southwest Community Corporation. She does amazing work. Um, I, I sit on the board there, but one thing that Felicia did that I have to commend her for is the minute everyone went on lockdown, she started pulling together resources.
Mhm.
I think at this point she's done like 20,000 meals or something like that to
Wow.
households in the OMI. So that's a big lift, and it's because of Felicia's act, activity right in the beginning that we're able to do things like the COVID testing that we have going on every Friday. She really established those connections and pulled me in and made it so we were able to get a seat at the table and really fight to have COVID testing in the OMI. There's so many partners and so many community members that assisted in the process. Catholic Charities with Patty Clement, the YMCA, and Brandon Wiley and Cessna, they really stepped up. But it was amazing to have all of the community members pull together to make sure that COVID testing happened. Oh, a big shout out to Gail Roseborough and Delia Fitzpatrick as well, because right at the forefront um, of that stuff. And there's so many people. If I forgot somebody, please don't.
Awesome. And the saying is true, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
So it looks like you have a lot of people supporting you in this work. So when can people go and do testing?
So testing happens every Friday. Currently, it's through the end of August. We're pushing to keep it going through September and ongoing, and maybe potentially opening up a separate site. But from Fridays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., you can walk up, get tested. Within the last few weeks, we've tested close to 300 folks. We have a positivity rate of about 3%, which is higher than what we're looking at across the city. And it was because of those high numbers that we really advocated to make sure people were getting tested in our community and that they had access, because access is the biggest thing. It really started as a result. For me, it started as a result of me thinking I had possibly gotten exposed and needed to be tested from work. And I called my health provider. It took it took them almost a week to schedule a test, and even to get it done through the city at that time, there was a delay. So I reached out to Supervisor Safai's office and really just asked, how can we get this going? He said, hey, you're one of a few people that have asked, and we really just worked together to make sure that the community had an opportunity to test. When they come out, we've been providing food, resources, as well as census information, voter registration information. There's senior services information for outdoor activities that seniors may be able to get involved in moving forward. And we really just tried to plan something that the whole community could participate in, become active in, and make sure that their neighbors are safe.
Amazing. Um, so thank you so much for that. Please let us know where we could follow the work that you're doing at City Eats. And then also, if you have a flyer that we could share with the information on where people could get tested, that would be helpful too. And we'll just drop those in the comments.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can definitely share all my contact information. I can also share the City Eats contact information, and I will email you. Oh, well, I can attach the flyer to the.
Okay, perfect. So, EJ, as someone who's known you for a really long time, I have to tell you, I'm proud of the work that you're doing. I'm also a lifelong San Franciscan, and we are in this together. So, thank you for everything.
And I definitely want to say that I'm proud of you as well. You know,
Thank you.
we're neighbors. We got this together.
We got this.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So I want to thank EJ again for joining us for another edition of Thursday Thoughts. I'm going to close it out, but first, a message from Angelica.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to EJ's Thursday Thoughts. And don't forget, tomorrow we have our Sunday Streets San Francisco What's Open SF live stream, where we'll give you the tips on the best small businesses in the Excelsior, and you get a chance to win a $25 gift card. Super fun. And,
Awesome.
and here is the Sonic advertisement. So thank you so much, Sonic, for sponsoring our gift cards for What's Open SF and our Thursday Thoughts as well.
Thanks again, EJ.
The wait is over. The fastest internet in California has just arrived in your neighborhood. That means you can stream your favorite playlists all day without skipping a beat. So go to sonic.com/sundaystreets and get 1 free month of service when you sign up for Sonic Fiber Internet today. Party on.
Thank you so much, everyone. Stay well, stay safe.
Stay well. Bye-bye.